So I'm going to record. Okay. So I'm going to record and I am just going to take a look here. Perfect. Nice. There's my favorite dog. So cute. So cute. I love your dog. Hello, puppy. So spoiled, but so cute. Okay. Let's get this show rolling. All right. So I'm going to bring up the presentation today because it's important. And I'm just going to look for it first because I had it and now, oh, here it is. There we go. There it is. I was looking for it and I was like, where is this thing? I was sitting there, I was going, we have our big Ironman race this weekend. So we are jacked and ready to go. All right. Okay, so let's take a looky look. Okay, so we're going to get back into this, and this is a mid-year reset. So when we look at the mid-year reset, I talk about where things are happening and what's happening in the business. Okay, so one of the things that I'm impassionately in love with, and again, you can all agree or disagree, but I am telling you, this shit is like gold. And I do apologize for the bad hair today. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay, nothing. I had to do swimming this morning instead of last night's thunderstorm and I could not fix it on time. So I'm like, it's looking like shit today. It's just the way it is. Tomorrow will be a different day. When we're looking at mid-year reset, I want to be very cautious about everybody. We don't look at the last 6 months at all. Like meaning the last 6 months are simply data. So I was doing this podcast with the CEO of all of Coldwell Banker on Friday, and we were talking about mid-year resets. And he says, what do you think? I said, I look at the first 6 months of the year as data, and then I go, we have another 6 months to look at it differently. So I'm very different. Okay, so I'm just going to. Somebody is saying they're having problems logging in. Okay, hang on. What's the error? Okay. I'm going to get my assistant to help everybody who is having problems logging in. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm, and okay, I'm just helping everybody. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay, so here we go. She's going to help people, and I'm just asking Grapple to my assistant to do that. Okay, perfect. Keeps asking for a passcode. Okay, got it. Did you guys have to ask for a passcode? No? Yeah, I didn't think
Oh,
so
really?
either. Yeah,
Just
I didn't
click
see
the
that.
link and allow, and you're good to go.
Yeah, weird. Okay, link it, it goes right to the meeting. That's weird. Okay. Let's try this link up here. Okay, so I'm gonna let her know to fix this. At
But of
please
course, if we're
see.
already logged into the calendar,
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Perfect. I thought, okay, sorry, we're just trying to figure out where everybody's freaking going. I was like, what the hell is going on today? This is like so strange. Okay, just sorry about this. Everybody's texting me while they're on here. Okay. Okay, perfect. Holy shit. Okay, I'm moving on. I can't handle it. Everybody can, my assistant's got it. She's got it. Okay, she's got it. We're good. Okay. Ah. Hmm. Hmm. Got it. Okay. Odd. Interesting. Very strange. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Let's do this shit. Okay. We're going to just ignore this. All right. So mid-year reset. I'm sorry, guys. Everybody's texting me and I'm like, stop texting me. So I shut off my phone. All right. So here we go. So taking a look at it. Okay. So when we're looking at the market, here's what we're seeing right now in the GTA and surrounding areas. I want to be really clear. Right now, we have home sales in June. We're up 9.4% in units. Okay, so I just want to be clear with you guys, okay? 9.4% year over year, highest June sales in years. That's year over year. I also want to show you that we're down, okay? New listings, 12.9%. That's huge. That means we're down. Okay, so listings on down, sales up by a tremendous amount, and we went up almost 9% in listings to sale ratio. What that means, and I want you to be really clear on this means that if you are not selling, you are not working. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Okay, if you are not selling, you are not working. Some of you have obscene success right now, and some of you are not. This tells a story. You can't lie. Okay, now you might say, my pocket is not performing. Okay, I'm not going to play that game anymore. We'd have to assume your entire lead generation happened around one pocket, and we know that's not true. Okay, so we know that's definitely not true. And I think the number one thing that we have to look at when it comes to this is we have to look at the big picture and say for 677.0, an increase in 9.4% in units and a decrease in listings means the market's moving. Now, how it works is you have the general interior. Okay, when you have a general interior of the core of Toronto, it works as a wave. When the market is hot as F, I want you to think about this. It is hot as F outside. It's like a giant peripheral map, a heat map. And then what happens is this. When you have the market shifting, it starts shifting from the outside and goes to the core of Toronto. It's like a wave. It goes boom. And it does that with everybody. Okay, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you do, it's what happens. Okay, so when the market starts on the outside, okay, and we're looking at the outside, it changes on the outside and moves to the inside. Very simple. Okay, now okay, sorry, I'm just letting people in. Now, when the market starts to turn positive, it's the reverse. It's like a wave. It goes boom, and then the wave hits. Starts on the interior and moves its way to the exterior. Okay? Interior to the exterior, period. Okay? So we want to be very clear about that. Interior to the exterior. That's the important thing. So when the market crashes, it crashes outside, hits Toronto last. When it improves, hits Toronto first. This is what's happening. So most places in Ontario will experience a huge upswing in September, but you should already be seeing it. Okay, it's very important that you take a look and see, is it happening now? Yes, most likely. Okay, so we have to really look at that. And that becomes the biggest thing that I look at is when we're looking at the market shifting, there's no reason for you not to be succeeding. So I'm saying this very cautiously because nobody can tell me that it's not. Okay, now, when you look at you can look at Calgary, Alberta. Here's an interesting tale of a different market. They're in a seller's market. So you'll hear some places in Canada better than ours. Condos, horrible over in what do you call it, in Calgary, Alberta. You come to Ottawa, Ontario, condos are horrible. You start in the GTA, two-bedroom condos are up on a rise. It's a very different tale of two markets all over the place. Canada is different. So your Ontario stats are your Ontario stats. Now, when you're looking at this, I want to kind of clear this up. A lot of people talk about the market isn't broken, it's divided. Okay? When we're talking about a market being divided, what does that mean to you? Okay, so what does this mean to you? Like, let's talk about, Meryl, let's talk about your market. Tell me a little bit about what's winning in your market. What type of properties are selling? What type of properties aren't selling? What do we got here?
The freehold under 800 are moving very, very strongly. I'm in Ajax, Ontario, and I work like the east end of Toronto. Sorry. Hello?
Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I was present. So anything under 800 is running strong sellers market. Anything over the 1.1 is where it starts very lagging and stays on the market with price reductions.
100%. So now tell me a little bit about where's the biggest opportunity for buyers then?
The first-time home buyers are very price motivated, so they are looking a lot at the lower prices, anything 599 to the 650 mark or so. I moved quite a bit of builders inventory actually with the HST incentive.
Yeah.
That is local as well in that price range. That's where I see the first first-time home buyers are going. The investors are again price motivated in the 750 mark with freehold, two-door income, anything with a finished basement. That's what I'm working with now.
Good. I like it. What is so your message would be great opportunity. Is there a lot of listings in that price range that you just noted?
Uh, they are moving quickly, but yes, it's coming to the market and moving quickly unless you negotiate the higher price mark to the lower, bringing sense to the seller that this is the price that you should be at and getting the deal done. I also work on assignments that are off market. You don't see them on MLS.
That's awesome. Good. Okay. So I really like that because I think a lot of the time, when we're looking at this, I talk about this, the market isn't broken. You've got to look at it being divided. Okay. And being divided is a key thing. So you have to really see that and say to yourself, are we looking at the market being divided? And the answer is yes. Right now, that's what's happening. Ed, do you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm thinking about in terms of the market being divided,
Yeah.
it's usually it's never a bad market. It's always good for somebody and bad for somebody else. I mean, right
Yeah.
now, I think it's great for buyers still. Buyers got
Yeah.
good opportunity. We've been telling them for 3 years now. It's a great market to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah.
goes one ear and one out the other. It's
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing because when I'm looking at this, guys, is that be careful because what I'm about to show you, like again, different strategies for how we're going to go about the second half of the year. Okay, so buyers are back, but they're negotiating hard. So you always have to look at that. Listings, stop taking overpriced listings. It's like a disease out in the marketplace now. Please stop taking them. Ignore them. Tell them to walk away. But our scripts that we're launching out, even today, we're launching out a script that you're going to get today that is just really listen to it. It's pre-listing. So don't take stuff that's overpriced. Don't look at the neighbor and say they haven't sold. You know what I mean? Meryl, did you have a question?
I just
Yeah.
wanted to add something. My last deal that I'm still actually firming up, it's pending on builder's consent. The seller is paying the buyer. The seller will pay the buyer like $10,000 or so at closing. So there are those opportunities too when buyers don't have deposits. It just depending on which builder, which bank they're working with, the seller is actually providing that.
Yeah, and it works really good. So
Yeah.
I mean, so right now there's no reason why we should be selling them. Like period. Okay? And it's going to be busy. Now, where you actually stand, okay? I want you to remember again, I don't care about the last 6 months. I care about the next 6 months. I mean, I care in a sense of like I don't want you to sit back and be like, "Oh man, I'm not succeeding." No, I just look at it and I look, there's a lot of runway left. We call that a runway. There's 6 months of runway left. You want to quit and you want to say it's not going to be a good 6 months, that's on you. How we operate here is we're like, reset, do your shit. Okay, now I've done this for a very long time. And I can assure you that the number one reason why people aren't succeeding in this market is because they're not doing the work. Okay, it's a different market. And I don't really care if you didn't do the work for 6 months, but you got to do the work now because it's a different industry. I'm going to read you something. Okay, I can't find the post anywhere, but I'm going to read you something. Okay, here we go. This is really interesting. I thought this post, like it gave me goosebumps. I was like, oh shit. Okay, so this post here was posted, it was a picture of I think about 10 or 15 adults, all different, men and women. Okay, and this is what they posted on social media, and it went viral. Viral. Okay, listen to this. It said, we are 55 to 75 years old in that group picture. Said we're 55 to 75. We are all longtime friends. We are educated and professional. We continue to work in first careers or new ones. We are single, married, and divorced. We have no children, and we're also parents. We are healthy, fit, and active. We have disposable income and financial means. We are living lives like no generation before us. We spend on all kinds of products from technology to automotive to travel to luxury goods to homes, renovations, and health. And we are no longer brand loyal. That's what they put. We are no longer brand loyal. Yet many marketers and brands ignore us because they stop targeting people 55 years or older. We move consumer spending, we try new brands and products, and we will continue to do so for years to come, as will the rising millennials who start to turn 50 in 4 years. Fuck. But anyway, We are only interested in brands that understand us, communicate to us with the right images, words, and messages. In the new longevity era, there's a new reality of people and consumers who are 50 years or older. We are the new growth market, and our numbers are huge and growing globally. Ignore us at your peril. That was the best post I've seen in years. And there's two things that stood out. First thing that stood out is that they're no longer brand loyal. That's what's happening to a lot of people who had all this loyalty before, whether you're with Remax, Royal, EXP, C21, CB, doesn't matter who you're with. Nobody's loyal to brands anymore. They don't give a shit. Okay, so if you expect them to call you because you're with Royal LePage, or you expect the phone to ring because you have a big balloon above your name, and that's what you thought, not going to happen anymore. They'll go with Bubba Ganoush Realty before they go with anybody else because they're not loyal. They're not loyal. Okay? Now, if you know what Bubba Ganoush is, I had it yesterday as a dip. So anyway, so it was so good. All right, it's eggplant. Anyway, so the point is that this is the first thing. They're no longer loyal, which means that people aren't caring anymore. Okay, so be very cautious. The second thing you want to remember about this as well is they said right here, okay, many marketers and brands and people ignore us because they stop targeting us. Ignore is the operative word. If you are not calling people and you are not picking up the damn phone, what are you doing? That's the problem. So if you think that people are going to pay attention to you and they're going to do that and they're going to be like, oh, you don't have to call me, you don't have to reach out to me, and I'm just going to call you because you're with Royal LePage, or I'm just going to call you because you're with Remax, or you're with EXP, and you know what, I'll just call you, or you're with Keller Williams, and that sounds great. Ain't gonna happen. And this has been happening progressively for 2 years now. For 2 years, and now it's done. Nobody is touching people. If you are showing you're living your best life and you are making commission in real estate and you are not picking up the phone and talking to people, it's not going to work. I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Okay? Sorry, I'm putting us to voicemail. Go. Sorry. I should have shut my phone. So the point is that you have 6 months runway, but don't forget that message. Pick up the damn phone. What, Ed? 5 what?
5 months.
Why 5?
August, September, October, November, December. 5 months.
We still have a week left.
Okay.
Come on,
And
Ed.
1 week.
Don't be such a weenie, okay? You know what I mean. All right. You have 5 months. Hurry up. You just lost a month. Ed just spoiled it all for you guys. You just lost 3 weeks. You just lost 3 weeks, and it's his fault. It's all his fault. Okay, so let's be honest with where you are. 50% of your is gone, 50% runaway ahead of you. Who gives a shit about the 50% lost? Don't care. Okay, you still have time to F up your year or enjoy your year. You still have both. If you had a great first half, you could still shit the bed second. You could do that. Not gonna lie. Okay, it always happens. You can have a very strong first half, terrible second. It could go both ways. But the point being is that who cares what happened in the first? It's time to game up the next. Okay, so you really want to look at that. Now, why goals get missed and it's not what you think? Okay, so these are the only 3 reasons why I've talked to everybody. I mean, my goodness, I could write a book on these 3 things, but it would be a very short book. It would be like 1 chapter. And I'd be like, one of these 3 things you're not doing, so figure out which one it is and do it. So whether you feel like it or not, I'm going to tell you something. I don't feel like ever working out. Ever. I was a 350-pound person. I didn't wake up every day and be like, oh, I can't wait to exercise. So exciting. No, don't feel like it. Yesterday, they called for a thunderstorm when I was going for a swim. And I was like, done. I turned that car around so fast that you would have been like, I'm a race car driver. It was like permission granted. Turned it around. I was like, now I had to go this morning, but yesterday it was like God blessing. I was like, yes, I get to go back home. No worries. Okay, so the point is that a lot of you are looking for hustle or motivation or things like that, or wanting something enough. Please don't worry about it. Please don't worry about it. Like, it's not like that. You have to really look at your goals and say to yourself, first thing is no consistent lead gen. So when I look at everybody's goals, the average person is doing 1 to 4 hours a week of lead generation. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why goals get missed. If that doesn't apply to you, that's cool. Okay, but non-consistent lead generation, because some of you might be hitting your goals, but you might be thinking to yourself, is this luck? Okay, so that's where this can also come into play too. You might be like, wow, I'm doing so well 6 months into the year. What's happening? So no consistent lead generation is huge. And what we refer to that as, a lot of people, when they're not doing consistent lead generation, they're making it mood based. So they're acting like it like, oh, I didn't feel like it today. Or I was supposed to go door knocking, but it was raining outside. Or it was too hot. You know how many people have had to say stop door knocking? Because in the winter it's too cold. In the summer it's too hot. I'm like, just stop door knocking. If you're not going to like buckle up, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to know. If anybody's heard of this, you can put in the chat. If you can find me any article in existence of somebody in real estate passing away because they door knocked in extreme weather conditions, I'd love to see it. I love to see it. I want to see it. I just want to see it. I mean, if it exists, somebody will find it, but I'm pretty sure there's never been. Equally, find me one article that shows that a person was kidnapped, a realtor kidnapped, door knocking. I just want to see that too. Okay. I think that's more likely than somebody passing away because of weather conditions, door knocking. But I've never seen that. I've seen open houses dangerous. We talk about that and coach on that all the time because you're in a house, but I'd love to see what somebody would do to try to accost me if I was door knocking. Never going to happen. There's two things that'll never happen to me. I'm past the point of getting dirty pictures on my cell phone, and I'll never have somebody accost me in a house. So anyway, with that being said, it's the consistent lead generation. If you're finding you're putting lead generation in your schedule and you're not doing it, or you're saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it, it's mood dependent. Okay, and that means it's habit. Okay, you have to break through it. Stop letting it be mood dependent and recognize that you don't have to feel good to be doing it. It's not like that. I really, really, I don't particularly love going to certain places or certain things, but sometimes you just have to suck it up and do it. Okay. Second thing is numbers aren't tracked. Okay. What you don't measure is not fixable, which means if you're not looking at it every single week, which is why we do the mid-year reports, is to say, look at your numbers. When you look at your numbers and you see that your numbers show a story, it's very hard to ignore. And then no weekly structure. If the goals are living in your head, which a lot of you, they are, you got to sit back and say, the next 6 months, what do I want to earn? How many appointments a week is it? I've talked to a lot of you about that. How many hours a week? 5 days a week, 2 hours a day, before noon, get back on track. If you're looking at no consistent lead gen, not tracking numbers, and you absolutely have no weekly structure, and every week is a giant, let's guess what's going to happen. These are the 3 foundations of goals being missed. They're the only things. And we call them the 3 laneways. So lead gen systems, tracking, structure. 3 lanes. That's all you have to do is fix each of the lanes. Am I consistently lead generating? No, why not? I'm too emotional about it, meaning I don't do it. Every time something distracts me, I'm emotionally charged into something else. Start small, build the habit. Numbers aren't being tracked? Okay, I'm not hitting my goals. Why not? How many contacts are you making? What if you're only making 5 contacts a week, right? So you got to look at that. And then the third thing, structured. No weekly structure means you're looking at your calendar for this week and you're going, I have nothing. I have nothing in my calendar. There's the problem. Okay? So you got to watch out for that. All right? When you're looking at the 4 moves that you need to do over the next 180 days, I want you to audit your actual numbers. A lot of you have already done that with me, or you've had conversations with me around that. Audit means you're going to reverse engineer. So if I want to make $100,000 a year, $100,000 for the next 5 months and 1 week, okay, I'm going to go, if my commission check is $10,000, okay, each check, that means I need to do 10 deals. In order for me to do 10 deals, I'm going to have at least 30 to 40 appointments. In order for me to get 30 to 40 appointments, I need to multiply that number by 3, and that's how many leads I want. So if you're looking for the magic formula, I give the worst ratios. And then that guarantees me. So you take the number of sales you want. So that's revenue divided by commission for the next 6 months or 5 months in a week. So you take that, then you divide it. How many deals is that? Whatever your deal number is, if it's 5 deals, multiply it by 3 to 4, and that's how many appointments you need. So if I want 5 deals for sure, I need 20 solid appointments minimum. Okay, minimum. That's 20 appointments over 5 months. Then, if I need to know how many leads I need, I'm going to multiply the 20 appointments by 3. I need 60 people to say, maybe. And I got to book the appointments, 20 appointments with them. Now, in order to get 60 leads, you have to look at how many hours of lead generation that means. In order to get 60 leads, that means I need to be getting 10 to 15 leads a month. That means I need to be putting 25 to 30 hours a week into finding leads. I have to front load it because if I wait to the 5th month to do all this, it's not going to work. So that means I need to look at my schedule and I need to recommit to it. So I'm going to audit, then I'm going to rebuild it. Where can I find the leads? Where can I find the follow-up? What am I not doing? Then I'm going to recommit. I'm going to recommit only for 90 days. I'm going to get my head in it and be like, 90 days, that's it. And then I'm going to track every single week. And if you're listening to this and you're not paying attention to it, I'm just going to warn you. This works. I have only one thing to accomplish is to get you into your production level. So if I'm telling you this, it's probably going to work. Okay. So I'm just telling you it's really good. Okay. Perfect. I'm just looking here. Okay, so next. Okay, boom. All right. Perfect. Next. Audit. Reverse engineer your numbers. Work backward from the income you actually want for 2026, not the vague version, the real one. Okay? Good? Ready? All right. So, income goal, number 1. Okay, so transactions needed, conversations, leads, daily accountability. We've already done that. So I'm going to run as if this is my numbers. Give me a second, and I'm going to pull it up my calculator. Okay, so let's say the 10 deals, right? So we've already done that. If I'm looking at my daily accountability, I want to do 10 deals from now to 5 months, okay? So 5 months, 4 weeks, that's 20 weeks, okay? So 60 leads. In 20 weeks, I need to be finding 3 leads every single week. Every single week, I need to find minimum of 3 leads a week, okay? So if I do that, that brings me 60 leads, okay? Out of the 60 leads, I'm going to be getting those 20 appointments as I indicated. Yeah, I think I said 20. I'm trying to go back on that. If that was my 20, then I'm going to go, boom. Actually, it's more than that because I wanted 10 deals. Sorry, I'm going bigger. That was 60 appointments, sorry. So I need 60 to 80 appointments and then more than that for leads. Yeah, 30 to 40. Sorry, I'm just writing the numbers down on my thing here. Okay, so let's go through it again. I need 10 deals. If I want to do 10 deals, I'm going to multiply it by 3 to 4 for appointments. So I need 30 to 40 appointments. Okay, let's go 40 over 20 weeks. Okay, that means 40 over 20 weeks means 2 appointments every single week that's qualified. Every week. Now, in order for me to get 2 appointments every single week, so 40 total appointments over that time period, I need to be multiplying by 3, which means 120 leads if you want to know the truth. So 120 leads means every week I have to find 6 leads. Where am I going to find them? I'm going to find them through open houses. I'm going to find them everywhere. Now, if I'm doing 20 hours of lead generation a week, divide by 6 leads, that means every 3 hours, I need to find a lead. So every 3 hours, I need to find a lead. I'm probably going to try to do a hot open house and find a bunch of them. And then you hold yourself accountable. That's the most important thing. Now, let's look at the 3 lanes of traffic that are coming in hot right now. Okay, so these are the 3 biggest converters we're seeing in the industry right now. Sphere and past clients, a farm and niche area, and online content. Okay, I'm not seeing much else in this industry. And I will say, like, especially in Ontario right now. So if you're looking at this first one, which is sphere and past clients, my suggestion is everybody gets into their cell phones and pick up the damn phone and call people. The reason why I'm saying that is when I read to you that Facebook post that I saw, okay, those people are very clear. It's called communication. If people are not hearing from you, they're going to think you don't care. It's that simple. A text message and email is not caring. Okay? That's passive communication. And I've done that 100 times myself, and I will tell you, it's not the same. Now, I'm super busy, so if I text somebody, for me, communication from me, period, is actually like the holy miracle sometimes. Okay? It's like, holy smokes, you know? Honestly, I don't even think, like, if I showed you my calendar right now, you would go, that's amazing. Like, to be able to handle it is a lot sometimes. We're working on that. But the point is that, you know what, for me, texting isn't normal. It's normal. But to real estate consumers, they don't live in your world. So they don't know. We all live in each other's worlds. We get it that we're working 24/7. We get how hard we work. We get all that stuff. They're not in our world. So they don't understand that you're working, that you worked on an offer till 10 o'clock last night. They don't get that. They don't understand that this is the first time you've sat at the cottage in months. You know, they don't get it. Okay, so that's why picking up a phone is important. Remember the key thing that I talk about. Many of you had great businesses, or you think people will just automatically call you. They won't. Okay, sphere and past clients. The best script I've talked about is right now. If I was anybody at all, I would take my cell phone. I don't get attached to it. I put on my little headpiece, which is right here. Okay, flip it on over the ear, and and I throw it on the ground in hopes that it breaks. But anyway, so what I would do is I would personally call and I would be like, hey, Francine, it's Marianne. It's halfway through the year and the market is starting to show some great signs of upticking. So we're calling everybody just to see if you had any questions halfway through the year, unless you're Ed, in which case it's not halfway through the year. But we're seeing if you have any questions at all in the market, or can we help you with anything before the end of the year? Now, Francine's either going to say yes or no, or who cares what Francine says. The point is I called her. I didn't text her. Now, let's say Francine was like, yeah, you know what, Marianne? She's like, let's pretend that Francine, you know what? Let's say she's going through a divorce. Sorry, but we're going to use her as an example. It's not true. We're just using an example. She's not going to tell, sorry, but you know what? We'll just use you as an example, girl. So Francine's getting a divorce. She's not going to be like, text me back, hey, yeah, I saw your social media post. Look like you're having a time of life. Guess what? I'm going through a divorce. Hit me up later. It doesn't happen, right? Nobody's going to do that because they don't do it, okay? It's private. That's not something that you tell somebody over a text message. It's not something that you tell somebody over an email. Somebody says, well, can I just send a video email? Look, we're in real estate, which means that we make a lot of money, but we are punished. We have to call everybody. Okay? That's what we have to do. We have to pick up the phone and pretend we care. And sometimes you're not going to care. And I don't want to pretend that you are. Sometimes you're going to be like, do I have to call those people? Yes, you do. Why? Because if I have to do it, you have to do it. And together we live in a perpetual state of misery where we all do it. And we're all part of the misery train. Okay? But some clients, I don't want to call. I have this two couples that literally we have nothing in common with. I met them in an open house. They thought my energy was great. I represent them on a condo purchase. I have nothing in common with them. And every time I call them, they answer. Every time. Because they love it. I don't even know what to say, but they love it. And it's like, and I just like, I don't dislike them. I just like, it's like pulling needles. Like, it's like, like, it's like really hard. They just want me to talk. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's exhausting. So, but they're great. So, and leaving a message is okay too. So if I'm leaving a message, I can be like, hey, Francine, it's Marianne Gillespie. Sorry I missed you. Hope you're doing amazing. I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know it's mid-year and there's some really good things happening in the real estate market that you may not have heard of. So I'm checking in to see if you have any questions, and is there anything you need before the year is done? I'm happy to help. She'll like it. Okay, she'll like it. It's fine. That's just as good. So pray for voicemail, but also you're going to get a lot of great people. Keep your conversations at a minimal. And I would say that that's probably the easiest thing you can do. Now, I worked with a couple people yesterday who approached me with the same objection. They said that they feel uncomfortable calling friends and family. Okay, so they said, I feel uncomfortable calling my friends and calling my family. They're like, that script is weird. And I said, yes, it is. So let's modify it. Okay, here's the script that I use. If I were you guys and I'm calling my friends and family, it is mid-year. I'm telling you, I warned everybody. Anyway, we'll cover how great I am in a second. Okay, I like to joke around about that. The script I would use if you're calling your friends and family is very simple. Everybody knows in the world now what a business coach is. Everybody does. And if they don't know specifically what a business coach is, they know that a business coach means that you want to do something better. You're improving yourself. The term 10 years ago, people were like, what is a business coach? They wouldn't know. So the script I would use with your friends and family is no different than I coached some of you on yesterday. I said, when you're calling your friends and family, just be honest with them. I'd be like, hey, Carolina, it's Marianne. I know we're friends and I'm going to do something today because guess what? I did hire a business coach and my business coach is making me do these calls today. So it's going to be a little different for you, but I'm ready to take my business to the next level. And this coach has told me that I have to call every friend and family that I know, which would be you, and just say, hey, the market is showing signs of improvement and I know we're friends, but I have to ask you if you had any questions about it. Was there anything real estate related I can answer for you? And just be like, that's what my coach is making me do. Your friends will automatically be like, I get it. That's cool. But always remember, I hired a business coach. My goal is to improve my business over the next 6 months. They'll think it's fine. They'll actually see you as a higher level. They'll go, oh, I guess Carolina wants business. And that's what they're doing. So not only does Carolina want business, but she also is calling, asking for business. So saying, well, she's not directly, she's just using a phrase. Is there any questions about the market? And she's dropping that the market is positive. It's an easy script. So I do it all the time. I have 5 coaches and they're probably the most aggressive coaches I've ever had. So the problem is like my coaches are always making me do things that I'm very uncomfortable with and I blame them for everything. Everything. I'm just like everything. I go out to dinner and I'm not, and everybody's like, come on, have a drink, have some cheese, have some whatever. And I go, listen, I've got a nutritional coach and my nutrition coach makes me report my damn food every single day. I cannot lie. So there's no effing way I'm doing this. I can't have a drink tonight. Can't do it. Right? So same thing. Oh, come out with us. I can't. My sports coach, my fitness coach tomorrow is making me do this. And then when I called my entire triathlon team, it was because, yes, my own personal coach I blamed. I'm like, my business coach has told me I have to do this. Simple as that. So I've been trying to get in to speak at Pacific West Conference out in BC for 4 stupid years in a row. Okay. And every year they reject me. I don't know why, but I'm like, somebody must not like me in Pacific West. So I have an enemy in BC that I don't know exists yet. So the point is I've been trying to speak there for 4 years. I keep getting this stupid rejection letter. Finally, my coach says to me, pick up the phone, call everybody you know, find out who has a connection at Pacific West. So I did. And I found a person who has a connection at Pacific West. And I said, I need a favor. You need to introduce me to the people. I got to find out why I'm being rejected. And I need the intro. Guess what? Tomorrow at 1:30 on a Zoom, I'm going to finally find out why Pacific West says no to me all these years in a row. Because the organizers of the actual conference is who they knew, and they set up the Zoom for me tomorrow at 1:30. So tomorrow at 1:30, I'm either going to find out who hates me, or I'm going to find out what is going on, or maybe I'll get in. But all I'm saying is that I didn't want to do that because I don't want to know. I'm kind of like of that mindset where I'm like, no problem, just reject me. Just reject me, right? I'm going to report back for sure, but I'm shitting myself. It's in my calendar. I can show you 1:30 tomorrow. The actual 2 event organizers are on a Zoom because this person pulled a favor and said, you need to tell her, you need to figure out why is she being rejected 4 years in a row. They may not even know, but I just know is that they're going to have a Zoom with me tomorrow because they've picked speakers that are shit. Just saying. Okay. They picked good ones too, but I am definitely better than what they've picked. And I want to know, what else do I have to do except literally walk to British Columbia and present? I want to know. So the point is you got to do it. Connect, figure it out. Farm and niche areas are huge right now. They're huge. I know, right, Mara? I was like, level up, people. Don't you know? I mean, those of you who are going to the Remax Activate, I'm the only female keynote speaker for that entire company. And what we're going to do, I'm going to blow the roof off of that conference. Like, you have no idea how crazy that's going to be. And it's in BC. So I'm like, boom. So anyway, so long story short, I take advantage of that. So farm and niche areas are huge. I'm going to be very honest with you. Micro niche it, keep it in your farm area. I'm going to tell you something. We just taught Carolina how to go to Canada Post and like get the postal codes and find your farm niche area. I'm going to say this is huge. Lean into it, have your content and knowledge. Just remember, if you're farming my area, I'm going to look you up on social media. If you're, and if you don't have content related to my farm area on your social media, then it's not going to match. This is the creepiest, creepy society I've ever seen in my entire life. You could go online and find everything you want out about anybody you want to find out. So it's creepy. Okay, so just remember, people are going to look you up. So your social media content needs to match, but that's the second source for sure. And then online content. Right now, our clients are getting a ton of business from ChatGPT where people are going in. You've taken my ChatGPT lead generation. If you haven't, it's recorded under resources. It's in the resource library. Watch that. Okay, we are going to also come middle of August onwards, we're ramping back up again. So we're going to be doing our role playing sessions. Okay, we're going to be doing our farming with AI sessions. I'm speaking in Niagara next month about AI. Ed, what do you got?
The Google campaign that
Yes.
this is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, correct.
Now, are we going to be doing a little more in-depth training on that? Because I've started that. I've got that going in full speed.
It's amazing.
I want
Where's your
to
blogs though?
I
Where's
need
all your blogs?
well they're on the website and they're pinned to Google to my Google page and I will post them on the on a on a Facebook group.
Okay, so you haven't done
Verbatim,
all
exactly
this
what
stuff
you
yet.
say. I watched your video 5 times.
Yeah.
Huh?
Do everything on the video on it. Every single thing that
Totally.
you can.
Well,
Like the
I don't do
videos,
it. The
everything.
VA does,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, just make sure it's area specific and you'll start to see it. And just out of curiosity, let's take a look and see how it's working. What area, what neighborhood are you doing it in? And I'll tell you right now if it's working.
Leslieville. Leslieville. Yeah,
Leslieville, the most competitive areas.
of
Okay.
course.
Yeah, well, you want to go big or go home.
Go big or
Maniva,
go
it's
home.
in the resources and it's AI for lead generation. It's an actual Zoom. If you run into problems, my assistant can help you. Okay, so let's look up. I am listing my house in Leslieville, Ontario, and need an agent I can trust and will sell it. Who should I interview? Okay, here we go. Let's take a look and see, Ed, how you're doing in Leslieville. Okay, it's looking up trusted professionals. It's, oh, wow, very interesting. It's like, wow. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Do you really want to hear this?
Mhm. Well, yeah. I asked
All
the question.
right. Okay, so it's really interesting. And remember, guys, AI only works on data. Okay, that's all it cares about. Okay, it doesn't care about anything else. So it says the Brel team. Okay, BREL, the Brel team. Okay, it says right here, first people I'd interview, strong with East Toronto freeholds and understands Leslieville buyers well. Okay, you need to look up what they're doing. All right, the Richards Group is number 2. Okay.
Yeah, they're huge.
Number 3 is Wright Sisters.
Yeah, they're massive.
Huge. Yep. Thurston Olson Real Estate Group. And then Dunton and Company Real Estate Group, boutique. So one of the things you're seeing, it says the top 3. Okay. Now, what you have to remember about this is that, okay, you have to look up their content, look up what they're doing, and fight back on it. The challenge that I would do here, if I were you, Ed, is I would do blogs on single agent, success versus mega teams. And you also need to, like, that's important. Get testimonials up, start doing blogs on, do I hire a team or do I hire a single agent? Start promoting yourself as the top single agent in Leslieville, because these are all big groups and teams.
Yeah.
So I would, if I'm looking big groups and teams, I would interview in this capacity. You can't fight these guys. It's not possible. They're too big. Okay. They're already getting a lot of steam ahead of you, but nobody is dominating the single agent conversation out in Leslieville. So if you want to get interviews, go single agent, make your blogs and your topics very specific to single agent success. As a single agent, as a top single agent without a team in Leslieville, or start doing that. Okay? Got it?
Got it.
Okay, because no single agent is showing up and I'm incognito on my screen. So you can compete.
Yeah. And it's 5 weeks in, by the way.
Yeah, so it takes 10. So just modify it a bit and start dropping that. Because I think you'll get called to the table. And this is a good tip, guys. I'm glad we asked this question. If you're seeing that it's all top teams because they're dominating in this, remember, many people don't want teams. They want personalized services. Okay? Many people want the single agent. Okay? And they will interview just for that. So it's important. So recommit 2 90-day sprints. Don't worry about the second 90-day sprint because it's really not a 90-day sprint. According to Ed, it's going to be a 67-day sprint. Okay? So the first 90-day sprint, take it as August, September, October. I want you to go, so ignore July. Okay? Go August to October and go all in. Okay, when you are working on 90-day sprints, the reason it works better than it works better than a half a year sprint or a full year is the brain doesn't like overwhelm. It likes short blips. Okay, so make sure that your 90 days look good. I was just over at Peggy Hill's house, and one of the things that we talked about was exactly this: 90 days at a time. She's the #1 producer in all of Canada. And the only thing we do is 90-day sprints. We don't worry about the end of the year. I don't care what happens at the end of the year. I don't care what's happened at the 2 past 90-day sprints. 90 days, all in, focused. Okay, don't let yourself down on this. It's huge. Tracking the accountability. Every week, I want you to spend 5 minutes a day and just look at your leads, conversations. How many appointments did I book? Same day, same time, every day. So make it a habit. Every day at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to do my numbers recap, or I like to do mine in the morning. Every day at 8:30 in the morning, I'm going to do my numbers recap. Okay? Every month, check your goal and be like, okay, August 1st to August 31st. August 31st, have in your calendar, how did I do? What's converting, what's not, what's got cut? And outside mirror, who's holding you accountable? Usually that's me. But if you are not with me every week, you need to find somebody to hold you accountable all the time. Okay, whether it's your broker owner, whether it's your manager, don't promise me, some of you are in the Royal Group, don't promise me that you're going to do something and then me find out that a week or 2 went by and you didn't do it. That means you need to find somebody to hold yourself accountable. You can't just say you're going to do something. Accountability is huge. It's your word. Okay, so one thing that I want to say to people, one thing I want to say to people, I just did the biggest race in Germany and I didn't feel ready. It was the first time that I actually carried a cell phone in the back of my running pack. I put my cell phone in there, which you have to do a lot of work to try to get your cell phone in there because you're not technically, you don't bring it around with you. But I brought my cell phone with me because I didn't feel like I was going to finish, right? I didn't feel like I was going to do it. I had a lot of things go wrong in that race, and I had a lot of things preparing. I lost a lot of people this year suddenly. My training was off. Everything was a mess. I didn't feel like it, but I trusted the training that I did. I trusted what I put in, and I showed up on the days I didn't feel like it. Many of you know, like Conrad Zerini passed away this year, and he was a very close friend of mine. He was a mentor to me. I loved him, and we were very close. My last text message to him was, we would do dinners all over the place, and we just had this great connection. And I was like family, and he said I was like family. We were like family. So when he passed away, it was a big shock. And you know what? I didn't feel like doing an Ironman 2 days later, but I did it. I did it. Was it pretty? Hell no. It was the hottest mess I've done in a long time. But the point is that you have to trust the work you do every day leads up to where you want to get to. You have to believe in the process and show up when you don't feel like it. And when you don't feel it, doesn't mean you have to be miserable, but you have to take a little bit one day off a week too. So one day off a week, not 14 days off, but one day off a week allows your brain to feel the recover. Okay, but you have to have a system in place that when your day is really heavy and hard, that you can text me and just be like, I'm just texting you to let you know. Today I'm suffering, man. I don't feel like it. But I just want you to know that I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm letting you know that I'm holding myself accountable. I've texted my coaches all the time. Doesn't mean they have to respond to me, but I texted my coach the other day. I didn't want to. On Saturday, I did not want to do my bike ride, so I didn't. So I sent a message to my coach. I said, I just don't feel like it today. I just don't feel like it. Another good friend I lost, Paul Rushford, on Friday. So I'm like, I just don't feel like it. I couldn't get up on Saturday morning and be like, you know what? Another friend of mine has passed away. Like, this is, 3 in 2 months. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't feel like it. So I texted my coach. I said, I'm not here mentally. I don't feel like doing this. I'm not here. Okay. Yeah. I love Paul. Love him. Like, our last conversation was just, it was perfect. And he was the number one agent in our city, number one team owner in our entire city, and 52 years old, and he passed away. And, I sat back and I said, I didn't feel like it. So I sent my coach a message. I said, I don't really feel like doing my ride today. I promise you, though, tomorrow I'm on it. My coach didn't respond. And I was like, I know my coach is busy. I'm like, that's not why I did it. I did it because my word is more important than worrying about him responding. And what did he do? Nothing. The next day, I said, I did it. Okay, I did it. And I said, I did the fucking thing. I said, I'm done. And I sent it off to him. So my point that I want to leave you guys with this is, trust what you're doing is going to work, but don't let your emotions carry you. Write down your Q3 income goals in front of your face, run the reverse numbers, and pick one lane that you're committed to in the next 90 days. And whatever it is, I'm here to support you on it. But do me a favor, don't mess up the next 90. Do not take it for granted. The market is on an upswing. If you want to catch it, you have one shot at doing it. And I am here however you need. I will support you day, night, weekend, whatever. I may be terrible at responding to messages lately, but I'm hoping less people will die in the next 30 days. Okay, so fingers crossed. Okay, we're through the worst of it. So crush the shit out of the next 90. Keep me posted, and let's fucking go. Bye, everyone.